the force of the scripture. Yeah, so the Raganuga sadhaka doesn't have the force of the scriptures to follow this sadhana. What is his impetus? His impetus is the attraction, spontaneous attraction to somebody who is particular Vrajvasi, who is doing particular service. Okay, that is his impetus. But how does he learn how to develop this sadhana? That is from books only. Okay, it is from the books only he learns the procedure. Okay, his impetus is not the books, but the procedure is given in the books. Okay, for the person who is Vaidhi sadhana, for him impetus is the books, procedure also is in the books. Okay, he may appreciate the videos, but that is not his impetus. Okay, this we have discussed yesterday. So now we have understood what we saw the basic definitions yesterday, that raga is present only with the Vrajvasi, Ragatmika devotee, and that follower of such a great person like Ragatmika person is called Raganuga. Okay, this much we have discussed. And yeah, we also discussed that there is a deep thirst which is there with the Ragatmika person, which manifests as complete absorption. So that Jiva Goswami explained yesterday that the extreme engrossment is the effect and causes the thirst, which is the primary characteristics. Okay, this we have discussed yesterday. And then we also discussed that there are two types of Ragatmika Bhakti. First is Kamarupa Ragatmika and second is Sambandharupa Ragatmika Bhakti. Okay, so it is in external form that it is only as Kama or the lusty activities. Okay, but in the internal, what is there? Raga Atmika. The internals are complete absorption, spontaneous attraction for the Lord. Rag is the Atma of that love. Okay, that person in the Atma has Rag. Okay, but external activities are like Kama. Similarly, second type of Ragatmika Bhakti was Sambandha Rupa, whose external form is of a relationship. Of what kind of relationship? Like a parent or a friend or a servant. These are all relationships which is there in the external form. But what is there inside? His inside also is Raga. Okay, Sambandha Rupa Ragatmika Bhakti. Okay, that's why it is told under Ragatmika Bhakti. Okay, this we have seen yesterday. So somebody may say, okay, Kamrupa Bhakti also is actually a relationship. Correct. Then why is it mentioned separately? So Jiva Goswami gives an example that it is a relationship, but actually it is a special relationship. For example, king is coming. So even though everyone is coming, includes a king, but it's necessary to mention him separately because he stands out from all the persons. Okay, so that's why he is mentioned separately. So Kama, Rupa, Ragatmika Bhakti stands out separately. Okay, that's why it is mentioned separately. What are the proofs we saw yesterday from seventh canto that five types of bhakti was mentioned in which the very words are used kamad and then snehad and what else dveshad and bhayat. Okay, so dvesha and bhaya we saw that they are not favorable attitudes, so that's why that is not exactly what is uttama bhakti, but they have been mentioned here because it is accompanying the terms which the author is Rupa Goswami is trying to bring out, that is Kamad and Snehat. Okay, so later examples also we saw that Gopi, the Gopyah Kamad, the Gopis they serve Krishna through their conjugal desires. Kamsa, he had fear for Krishna, so much fear that in sleep also he would think of Krishna. Okay. And Shishupal, he had so much envy of Krishna that since childhood he was abusing Krishna. It is told in Shrimad Bhagavatam that even before he started to speak, he was criticizing Krishna. Ah, he would not be able to form proper words. But since that time he was criticizing Krishna. That was the dvesha in Shishupal's heart. But Krishna, because he saw that Kamsa and Shishupal are focused completely on him, even though with unfavorable attitude, he gave them liberation. Okay, but the point of Rupa Goswami is to bring out these two words, Kamat, Gopyah, and Sneha Sambandha. So these two types of bhakti he wants to bring out. That is Sambandha Rupa and Kama Rupa Bhakti. That's why he has given this shloka here. Okay, this we discussed yesterday. Now, today we are going to see scriptural proofs for the two types of Ragatmika Bhakti. In this first part is how can the Nitya Siddha devotees such as the gopis be described as attaining Kama, because they are Nitya Siddha, they are eternally perfected beings. So why does it say that they attained Kama? It should be said that they already had the Kama, right? Why is it said like this? Just like a sadhaka may attain it in some time after perfecting. Okay, for them it is suitable. But why do you say for Nitya Siddhas like gopis they are attaining? That will be answered here. Okay, so we will read from here. Yeah, Bhakti Lila Mate, you want to read?
Scriptural proof for the two types of Ragatmika Bhakti. One should not say, how can the Nitya Siddha devotee, such as the gopis, be described as attaining Kama and other relationship, since those relations are eternal. The intention is to show the state of Purva Raga that they experienced during the Krishna's earthly pastime. The same applies to the Vrishnis.
Yeah, so some technical term is used here, Pururag. We will not go into depth of this, but just touch upon Pururag is before anybody has met Krishna actually, what feelings they undergo, that is called Pururag. Okay. So in earthly pastime it is because they have descended from spiritual world, okay, in the Bhauma Vrindavan, and then they slowly grow and grow in their age till the time they mature into their Kaishwara Avastha. Okay, they experience a feeling called Purvarag, okay, which is before meeting Krishna. Okay, that is in simple words. That is called Purvarag. Okay. Second, how can the gopis and the Vrishnis attain the same destination as Kamsha and Shishupal? So, as we discussed yesterday, if you remember the example of two people in Maharashtra board, one is made to pass by giving what you say grace marks. Other person has attained 99 or 100 marks. So, the destinations of both of them is said to be liberation. In this example, here relevant thing is that Vrishnis, gopis and Kamsa and Shishupal all are liberated. So just like these two kind of students both are pass, but they don't have the same future perspectives. They have different future perspectives. Similarly, the gopis, Vrishnis, Kamsa and Shishupal all can be considered liberated, but the relationship which they have with Krishna and and the experience and the enjoyment in that relationship will be completely different. Okay, that will be explained here. So Rupa Goswami is saying this shloka, Yad arinam priyanam cha prapyam ekam ivoditam tad brahma krishnayoho aikyat kirana arko upamajushoho. Yes, please read.
When it is said that the enemies and the dear friends of Lord attain the same end, it means the same end only in the sense of the Brahman and the personal form of Krishna are one entity, in the manner that the rays of sun and the sun are one.
Yeah, so somebody can say that sun has come to my room. What he actually means is that sunlight is coming in his room. If sun actually comes, then he will not be able to speak these words. Okay, so sun is sometimes taken as equivalent to the sunlight, the sun rays. So just like that example, here also it is told that personal form of Krishna somebody attains, and Brahman also is effulgence of Krishna. So it is said, okay, yeah, Shishupal and Kamsa attend actually Brahman, the effulgence of Krishna, and gopis and all they attend personal forms of Krishna. So because they are coming from the same person, just like sun and sunlight, they are sometimes said like they attain the same destination. In that sense, Prabhupada will also explain this. Yeah, okay, please read.
It was stated in verse 274, quoting from the Bhagavatam, that those with hatred and fear attain the goal, tat gatim gataha, as did those with conjugal love and affection. The doubt may arise how an enemy of Krishna and a friend of Krishna can achieve the same goal. This verse clears the doubt. Priyanam refers to the gopis, Vrishnis, Pandavas, and Naradas. Bhagavad Gita says, Brahmano hi pratishtaham. I am the shelter of impersonal Brahman. Bhagavad Gita 14.27. If a person become highly qualified, he realizes the condensed form through the appearance of Lord as Bhagwan with forms and qualities. Otherwise, the person realizes the diluted form through the appearance of Brahman with no form and qualities. One should understand that the effulgence could exist only if it has a foundation.
Yeah, so same thing he explained the sun and sunrise. Okay, so the destination may be both same in the sense that they both got liberated, gopis, vrishnis, and others, as well as Kamsa and Shishubal, but they are not having the same experience after liberation. Okay, even it is said that later it will come. Kubja, who also had conjugal feelings for the Lord, but it was not completely selfless. There was a motive of there was a motive of Hare Krishna, please keep yourself mute. Arun, to make me co-host, I will mute if somebody is unmuted. Yeah. So, as I was saying that Kubja, she had a calm praya. Okay, almost like like the gopis, but it had a tinge of self desire, self enjoyment tendency also. Okay, so her experience will not be same as the selfless gopis. Another example is we hear of Putana, that she also became Dhatri or the nurse of Krishna. So should we say that she has a equivalent experience as Mother Yashoda? No, never. She will not have. Okay. Why? Because first thing is she has not done the sadhana to attain a position of a mother. Okay. Second thing, Krishna out of mercy gave her that position because she wanted to feed the milk to Krishna. Even though she did not have any favorable attitude, she came to kill only Krishna. But she was given that benediction because Krishna, out of gratitude, gave that position because she wanted to do some service to Krishna. Seeing that small good quality, Krishna magnified it so much and gave her the position of Dhatri. Okay. So her experience will not be same as Mother Yashoda, surely. Okay. Yeah. Third topic. Actually, those inimical to the Lord attain only Sayujya Mukti. Okay. So for this, he quotes a shloka here. He has composed a shloka and later he will give a reference also. Brahmani eva layam yanti prayena ripavo hare kechit prapyapi sarupya bhasam majjanti tatsukhe. Yes, Mati.
The enemies of the Lord generally merge into the impersonal Brahman. Some of them, even though they attain semblance of a form similar to the Lord's Swarupya Bhasam, remain absorbed in the happiness of Brahman.
Yeah, so those were enemies like Shishupala and Kamsa. Where they have gone to the impersonal Brahman. Okay. And just like we see after the Rajasuya Yagya, when Shishupal was killed by the chakra of Krishna, his soul came out and merged into the body of Krishna. So he entered the impersonal Brahman. Okay. There, what happens is that they attain semblance of a form similar to the Lord and remain absorbed in happiness of Brahman. So they don't experience the happiness of Vaikuntha or Goloka, but the happiness of Brahman, which is insignificant, less like a drop in the ocean. Yeah.
Among the enemies, some merge into Brahman. Others, such as Shragala Vasudev, attain form somewhat resembling that of the Lord, but remain merged in the happiness of Brahman rather than serving the Lord.
Yeah. So this Srigal Vasudev is another name for Paundraka, who wanted a four-handed form of Krishna. It's not Krishna, Lord Vishnu. Okay, this Paundraka. So 400 form he wanted. So Krishna, he was so merciful that he told, okay, no problem. I will not give you Brahman. I will give you 400 form like me. Okay. But the happiness you will experience is only of Brahman because he is not qualified for Anyabhilashita Shunyam the Suddha Bhakti. So he is given out of mercy this happiness of Brahman and a form also of the four hands because that's what he was trying to imitate during his pastime. So not his pastime, during his activities. And Krishna as such, he was challenging also Krishna that, oh, you have simply stuck out two hands, give up your form of four hands. I am the actual Vasudev. All those things he was saying. Okay, like that. सिद्धलोकस्तु तमसः पारे यत्र वसन्ति हि सिद्धा ब्रह्मसुखे मग्ना दैत्यश्च हरिणा हताः. Yeah.
Siddha Loka, the spiritual world, is beyond Prakriti. Their
हम्म,
demons,
नाही फक्त मीच दिसते.
their demons killed by the Lord, and some sages dwell, merge in the happiness of Brahmandapura.
Yeah. So he is giving where do these people reside. So Siddha Loka is a place. He is giving a reference that whatever I am telling, it has a reference in scriptures. Where is it? Brahmand Puran. He is saying Siddha Loka is beyond Prakriti. There, demons killed by the Lord. Okay, which Lord? Only Lord Krishna or Vishnu. Okay, only Lord Krishna. Yeah, only Lord Krishna. They reside, and some sages dwell merged in happiness of Brahman. They reside. Okay, so let's read the commentary. Yeah.
The proof that the demon merge in the Brahman will be given later. The proof that some demon attain the planet of Lord but still remain merged in the happiness of Brahman is stated in this verse. The sages and the demons dwell on that planet of the Lord, merge in the happiness of Brahman.
Okay, so basically, this is not the complete. This is not the actual topic. Why this topic came? Because he mentioned the names of Kamsa and Shishupal, and some people may think that, oh, how can they be mentioned along with gopis and all? Correct. So just he's clarifying that actually, don't worry, they don't enjoy the same happiness as gopis and Vrishnis and other uh, who are friends, friendly relationship, sambandha. Okay, snehad, sambandha. They don't enjoy the same experience. They have experience only of Brahman. Like that is being clarified. Okay, but what happens to the dear devotees who are practicing the sadhana bhakti, uttama sadhana bhakti? For them, they attain the lotus feet. So here he is saying, Raga bandhena kenapi tam bhajanto vrajanti ami angri padma sudha prema rupastasya priyajana. Yeah,
Those person most devoted to the Lord, who are the very form of prema and who worship him with intense, spontaneous absorption, attain the nectar of his lotus feet.
yeah. So those who are practicing the uttama bhakti, so Vishwanath Thakur and Jiva Goswami both have told, and even Rupa Goswami is telling by the shloka, they should not be uh, thinking that they will also enjoy something similar to happiness of Brahman only. No, they will experience much more happiness, just like the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay, even though the Kamsa and Shishupal are mentioned in the same verse, but they should understand that they will attain the nectar of his lotus feet. They will not attain the happiness of Brahman only. Okay, that's what is being clarified. Yeah.
This verse describes especially the supreme position of the devoted gopis. The word Priya indicates this.
Yeah. So again, the reference that the devotee attain the lotus feet of the Lord is given here. Okay, please read the translation.
Simply by constantly thinking of him, the enemies of Lord attain the same Brahman that the sages fix in yoga worship by controlling their breath, mind, and senses. Similarly, we Shrutis, adopting a mood similar to the gopis and finally attaining similar bodies, will achieve the same nectar from your lotus feet that your consort are able to relish because of their loving attraction to your mighty serpentine arms.
Yeah. So this is 10th canto, 87th chapter. Okay. So this is the Shrutis who became later Shrutichari gopis by following the footsteps of gopis. So they followed the Raganuga sadhana and they became gopis. They experienced what? Loving attraction for the Lord, not the bliss of Brahman, which was experienced by sages and other enemies. Okay, that's what proof is given. Yeah,
The gopis attain the nectar of your lotus feet, the various types of sweetness filled with prema. We, the Upanishad, adopting a mood or emotion similar to that of gopis, sama drusha, and thus attaining form like them, samaha, also attain the nectar of your lotus feet.
yeah. Okay, so here. The same thing is explained. We'll not go into detail of this. Okay, because the topic of discussion is not this exactly. We will just read what Prabhupada is saying. Yeah.
There may be some difficulty in understanding that both the gopis and Kamsa achieve the same goal. So this point should be clearly understood because the attitude of Kansa and Shishupal were different from that of the gopis. Although in all these cases the focus is on the Supreme Personality of Godhead and all of the devotees are elevated to the spiritual world, there is still a distinction between these two classes of souls.
Yeah. So Prabhupada is summarizing as he has titled the book Nectar of Devotion as a summary study. So whatever Rupa Goswami and Jiva Goswami presented throughout, he is just summarizing in few paragraphs. So in summary, Prabhupada is telling, see, there are two types of people mentioned here, two classes. Who are the two classes? One who are doing Uttama Bhakti, like gopis, and no Uttama Bhakti in the sense that pure devotional service without ulterior motive and favorably. Gopis and Vrishnis and those who are doing with some relationship or conjugal mood. That is separate category. Second category is Kamsha and Sushupal who are doing out of envy and hatred. Okay, they will have different destinations. Yeah, continue.
Although Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan are the same and one absolute truth, devotees like Kamsa or Shishupal could attain only to the Brahman effulgence. They could not have realization of Paramatma or Bhagavan. That is distinction.
Yeah, so that's why Prabhupada is saying that distinction is there even though both are pass. But one is pass with 9900 marks, other one is made to pass. Okay, though there is distinction even though both may be said that both have attained liberation. Okay, yeah, please read.
Srila Rupa Goswami is trying here to describe the different achievement of the impersonalist and the personalist. Generally, those who are impersonalist and are inimical to the supreme personality of Godhead get entrance only into the impersonal Brahman when and if they reach spiritual perfection. The impersonalist philosopher are in one sense like the enemies of the Lord because out and out enemies of the Lord and the impersonalists are both allowed to enter only into the impersonal effulgence of the Brahma Jyoti.
Yeah.
Actually, the impersonalists are enemies of God because they cannot tolerate the unparalleled opulence of the Lord. They try always to place themselves on the same level with the Lord, and that is due to their envious attitude. The Lord is so kind, however, that even though they are his enemies, they are still allowed to enter into the spiritual kingdom and remain in the impersonal Brahma Jyoti, the undifferentiated light of the Absolute.
Yeah. Thank you, Mate. So till now we discussed the difference between the Kamsa and Shishupal class, and second was gopis and others who have relationship in friendship, in parenthood, and in servitude. Okay. So now next part is Kamrupa Ragatmika Bhakti. Okay, what is the meaning of this term? Okay, till now the discussion was that okay, that proof is there that this kind of bhakti exists. Which kind of bhakti? Kamrupa as well as Sambandh Rupa. Okay, so now there will be definition of this term and explanation of this term. So Rupa Goswami is defining this. Sa kama rupa sambhoga trishnam ya nayati swatam yad ashayam krishna saukhyartham eva kevalam udyamaha. Okay, somebody else can read. Isha Mataji, you want to read?
That type of bhakti with full absorption in the beloved is called Kama Rupa Bhakti, which produces an intrinsic thirst for the conjugal relationship with the Lord in the Atma. It is called Bhakti because in that condition there is only eagerness for giving pleasure to Krishna.
Yeah, thank you. So now he is defining what is Kama Rupa Ragatmika Bhakti. So that type of bhakti with full absorption. So please understand, as we have been discussing till now, whatever previous definitions are there are all valid. So what was the previous definition to Kamrupa Ragatmika Bhakti? We had the definition of Ragatmika Bhakti. Remember? The first definition Rupa Goswami gave was Ragatmika Bhakti. In that he first defined Rag. Okay, what was Rag? Rag was Ishte Swarasiki Paramavishtata. Okay, please remember this phrase. Rag is what? Spontaneous. Okay, Ishte Swarasiki Param Avishta. Swarasiki is spontaneous. Param Avishtata is deep absorption in Ishte, in the Lord. That is called Rag. That he defined. So that definition holds true now. Next, what he defined? This kind of rag is present in a person. He is called Ragatmika Bhakta, and the bhakti he performs is called Ragatmika Bhakti. Okay, in which he has a deep thirst for the Lord, and there is deep thirst he has, and that is the cause. And what is the result of that? Result of that is complete absorption. Okay, so these are basic vital terminologies. Please remember this. Okay, this was the effect of that which he defined earlier. So now whatever is going to come, Kama Rupa Ragatmika Bhakti and Sambandha Rupa Ragatmika Bhakti, these two characteristics will be there. What are the two? First, that Rag will exist. Second, this phenomena will happen. Okay, he will have Ishte Swara Kisrasiki Paramavishtata. Okay, Rag will be there. That will be caused from where? Deep thirst. Okay, deep thirst will cause that complete absorption. So now when he is defining here, you can see he is using the same word, full absorption. So previous definition is being carried over with some more terminology. What is the extra terminology here? Kamarupa. Okay. The extra terminology is Kamarupa. The external form is Kamarupa. Kama. Okay. But internal is what? Complete absorption in the Lord. Why is it there? Because he has raga. Okay. So now he's saying this type, that type of bhakti with full absorption in the beloved. Beloved is again for what? Ishte. What is full absorption? Paramavishtata. Okay. Avishtata. Avishtata is called Kamarupa Bhakti, which produces an intrinsic thirst for a conjugal relationship. Okay, they have Raga, spontaneous attraction for the Lord, which produces what? An intrinsic thirst for conjugal relationship. What type of relationship? Conjugal relationship with the Lord in the Atma, in their internal. It is called Bhakti. Why is it called Bhakti? It looks like enjoyment. Correct. That having a conjugal relationship looks like enjoyment, but it's called bhakti. Why? Because in that condition there is only eagerness for giving pleasure to Krishna. So if possible, please remember this phrase also. Krishna Saukhya Artham Eva Kevalam Udyamah. Only for the pleasure of Krishna all the Udyama or activities are done. Okay. Eva means only. Kevala means also only. Why two times it is mentioned? Because don't mistake this. It is not for personal enjoyment. Okay, it is only for Krishna's enjoyment. That's what is being emphasized. So two times only is used. Eva and Kevala also is only, only. It's only and only for Krishna's enjoyment. Okay, we should say like that. It is only and only for Krishna's enjoyment. Krishna Saukhyartham Eva Kevala. Udyama. Udyama means very hard endeavor. They do very hard endeavor. Very hard work they are ready to do. For what? Pleasing Krishna. But externally it looks like what? Conjugal relationship. For their own enjoyment. That is the only thing. Okay. So I hope this definition is clear. We'll read the commentary. It will be more clear. Yes, please read.
Kama should be described as a particular type of prema with full spontaneous absorption in the beloved object. This has already been mentioned in the definition of Ragatmika Bhakti. That which is famous as Prem is called as Kama Rupa in this verse. Other varieties are excluded.
Yeah. So as we discussed, calm should be described as a particular type of prema only with what? Full, spontaneous absorption. So what is these words? Spontaneous is which word? Swarasiki. Okay. And what is full? Param. What is absorption? Avishtata. Avishtata. Okay, so these are the three words. Same thing Jiva Goswami is telling that these are there already in Ragatmika Bhakti. Okay, now this was there already in Ragatmika Bhakti. Now that which is famous as Prema is called Kama Rupa in this verse. Yeah, please read.
The verse cover only the characteristics of Kamarupa. What is its effect? The thirst for conjugal enjoyment, famous as Kama or lust, is actually a thirst composed of prema alone, with no trace of material lust, and this thirst become one's essential nature.
Yeah, so it is not, this definition should not be applied to what? Sambandha Rupa. It should be applied to Kama Rupa, which conjugal relationships. It doesn't exist in any other kind of relationship, nor in parently or in the friendly or in the servitude. So this should be applied only to conjugal relationship. That is first thing Jiva Goswami is saying. And what is its effect? The thirst for a conjugal enjoyment, famous as kama or lust, is actually a thirst for prema. Okay, so later he will quote also Chaitanya Charitamrit, where famously Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has given definition of kama and prema in one shloka. Okay, we'll see that. Okay, आपने इंद्र प्रीति वांछा, हाँ तार बोली काम, कृष्ण इंद्र प्रीति वांछा धरे प्रेम नाम. That he will also quote. But there is no trace of material lust, as somebody may think, seeing the external conjugal activities. Yeah, continue.
The verse then explains the reason that this Kama is equated with prema, because in this thirst for enjoyment, there is complete eagerness of the gopis of Vraja only for pleasing Krishna, and not a thirst for their personal enjoyment.
Yeah, so there is no thirst for personal enjoyment, even though externally one may think like that or it may seem like that. But it is only for pleasing Krishna. Krishna Saukhyartham eva kevala udyama. That is what is being explained here. Krishna Saukhya. That is the only goal. Yeah, continue. Prabhupada's commentary. Yeah.
The lusty attitude of the gopis does not refer to any sort of sex indulgence. Srila Rupa Goswami explains that this lusty desire refers to devotees' particular attitude of association with Krishna. Every devotee in his perfectional stage has a spontaneous attraction to the Lord. This attraction is sometimes called the lusty desire of a devotee.
Yeah, so Prabhupada also saying very clearly this lusty attitude, Kam Rupa of the gopis does not refer to sex indulgence, but what it refers to the devotee's particular attitude for association of Krishna. So they have a particular inclination to associate with Krishna in conjugal ways. So the example can be given as you must have heard this pastime that once when Krishna was going to the forest, so Mother Yashoda thinking that his feet will be hurt by the pebbles and the thorns. So what did Mother Yashoda wanted to do? She wanted to make shoes for Krishna. And what did Krishna tell? Krishna told, yes, you can make shoes for me and all the cows also. And how many cows were there? 9 lakh cows were there. So for each of the cows, we will need four pairs. So that many were to be made. Then only Krishna told, I will wear. So basically, I'm quoting this pastime because the Mother Yashoda's love manifests in the form of making shoes. She has a concern. What concern is Krishna's feet will be hurt. Same concern when gopis hear what is their feeling and what is their way of serving Krishna. The shloka will be quoted later that gopis want to keep the feet of Krishna on their breasts. Okay, like that Krishna, the gopis are thinking. That is a conjugal feeling they are having. If the friends hear of some similar difficulty for Krishna that his feet will be hurt, what they may do? They may want to carry Krishna on their shoulder. Same concern that Krishna's feet will be hurt. But you can see everybody is having different kind of activity or manifestation of the removal of that concern. Okay. If Das, those who are Raktak, Patrak, they hear about Krishna's feet getting hurt, they may want to make a palanquin and can carry Krishna. Concern is same, but the way they respond to it is different. Okay, like that. So that's why Prabhupada is saying devotee's particular attitude, okay, that's based on the rasa they are having with Krishna, that makes them act in a particular way. But internally, all of these people, what they have in their atma is the rag, that is spontaneous deep thirst, okay, towards the Lord. Yeah, continue.
The lust is the devotee's excessive desire to serve the Lord in a particular capacity. Such a desire may seem to be a desire for enjoying the Lord, but actually the endeavor is to serve Lord in that capacity. Such a desire may seem to be a desire for enjoying the Lord, but actually the endeavor is to serve Lord in that capacity.
Yeah, so everybody has a particular capacity to serve. Like Prabhupada is repeating this concept. Somebody may want to serve through conjugal relationship. Mother Yashoda may want to serve in a parental relationship. Somebody may want to serve in a friendly relationship. So that they have their particular capacity which they want to use for serving Krishna. Yeah.
For example, a devotee may be desiring to associate with personality of Godhead as his cowherd friend. He will want to serve the Lord by assisting him in controlling the cows in the pasturing grounds. This may appear to be a desire to enjoy the company of the Lord, but actually it is spontaneous love serving him by assisting in managing the transcendental cows.
Yeah. So it may appear to desire to enjoy, but actually it is a way of service. Okay. So any questions till now what we discussed this concept? The definition of Kam Rupa Ragatmika Bhakti. So Rupa Goswami defined that term Kam Rupa. Externally it is the conjugal feelings, but internally it is the deep spontaneous thirst to please Lord Shri Krishna, like that. Okay. Any questions on this topic? Okay, so then we will go ahead. The second part is Kamrupa Ragatmika Bhakti is seen in the gopis of Vrindavan. So as we have been discussing earlier, we are studying actually Sadhana Bhakti part. We still, okay, that is Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. And later it will be just told that this Bhakti is a follower of this Bhakti. So whole explanation is given for this type of bhakti, that is Ragatmika bhakti, and in just one verse, Rupa Goswami will say that which follows this bhakti is called Raganuga Sadhana bhakti. That's it. So that's why so much explanation is being given for this type of bhakti to understand what it is that which this person wants to follow. Raganuga Sadhaka wants to follow. So there will not be much explanation for this. So don't wait for that. That lot of explanation will come for this. Okay, whatever explanation is there here only, because he has to follow this. That's it. Okay. So we will see now Kamrupa Ragatmika Bhakti is seen in the gopis of Vrindavan. Okay, that's why this is what this is told as perfected or at the stage of prema. It is being performed. इयं तु व्रज देवीषु सुप्रसिद्धा विराजते आसां प्रेम विशेषोऽयं प्राप्तः कामपि माधुरीं तत्तत् क्रीडा निदानत्वात् काम इति उच्यते बुधे. Okay, Kishore Madhav, you want to read?
Yes, bro. This very famous Kamarupa Bhakti appears with brilliance in the woman of Raja. They have a particular type of prema which has a special sweetness. It is called Kama by the wise because it is the cause of various amorous actions.
Yeah, so now Rupa Goswami is telling that where is this to be found? So Vraj Devishu, just like we have He Radhe Vraj Devi ke chalalite He Nanda Suno Kuta. So Vraj Devi. So they are called, the gopis are called as Vraj Devi Shu. So in that there is Suprasiddha, in that it is famous, in them it is famous. Iyam tu means this which was told earlier, but this is famous in Vraj Devi Shu. It is situated in them, Virajate. Asam Premo Vishesho, their love is very, very special, Vishesha. Praptah Kam api Madhurim, which has a special sweetness. Prapta, they have a particular type of prema which has very special sweetness. It is called as Kama by the wise. Kamiti Uchche Buddha Uchchate Buddha. Those are wise, they call it as Kama because it is the cause of various amorous actions. Okay, externally it manifests as Kama. That's why they call it as Kama. Yeah, please.
The author gives an example of Kamarupa Bhakti. Its famous
Voice is very low.
The author gives an example of this Kamarupa Bhakti. Its famous nature, Suprasiddha, is illustrated in the following verse, which was spoken by the gopis when Krishna left them in the midst of the Rasalila.
ये ते सुजात चरणाम्बुरुहं स्तनेषु वीतशनय प्रिय दधिमहि कर्कशेषु तेनावत् तेनाटवीम् अटसि तद्व्यततेन किं स्वेत् कुर्पादिभिर्भ्रमति धीर् भवद् आयुषां नः.
O dear beloved, your lotus feet are so soft that we place them gently on our breast, fearing that your feet will be hurt. Our life rests on only in you. Our minds therefore are filled with anxiety that your tender feet might be wounded by pebbles as you roam about on the forest path.
Yeah, so their concern is also what? That, oh, your feet will be wounded by pebbles and the thorns. Mother Yashoda also had the same concern. She wanted to make shoes. Okay, so concern is same, but the way they express a solution to that concern will be based on their attitude of service. Okay, third, Kam in Kam Rupa Ragatmika Bhakti is actually prema. Okay, it is externally only, Kama, internally it is prema, that will be explained. So Rupa Goswami is quoting from Tantra Shastra, prema eva gopa rama nam kama iti agamat pratham. Yeah,
The
please read.
Kamarupa Bhakti of the gopis has become famous simply as prema.
Yeah, so Agama Shastra means which is Tantra Shastra. Okay. Nigama is the Shrutis. Agama is the Tantra Shastra. Okay. So there it is famous as what? Prema. What is famous as prema? Kama Rupa Bhakti इति उद्धवा आदयो अपि एतां वाञ्छन्ति भगवत्प्रियाः.
And because it is a form of exalted prema, persons such as Uddhava, dear to the Lord, desire that aspect of it.
Yeah, so we hear many times, oh, Uddhava visited Vrindavan. Then after visiting Vrindavan, he actually came to know who are the gopis. Okay, so there he prayed also, let me become a Gulmalatau Shadhinam, he says. Gulmalata or a creeper or like that in the Vrindavan so that they can put their lotus feet upon my head. So here he is saying that, and because it is a form of exalted prema, okay, it may seem as kama externally, but it is not. How do we know? Great devotees like Uddhava have also prayed for it. That will be told later. Okay. Persons such as Uddhava, dear to the Lord, desire that aspect of it. Okay. So do they want to become gopi? Like Uddhava may sometime pray, oh, they have such great love, let me also have that love. So does it mean that they desire to become gopis? No, it's not like that. Okay. Just like, see, Rupa Goswami has written book called Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Even though it is explained that Madhurya Rasa means seeing what you say objectively. Okay, seeing objectively, Madhurya Rasa is placed highest. That does not mean that a devotee situated in certain rasa like Sakhya Rasa or Vatsal Rasa is experiencing something which is not satisfactory to them. Okay, please understand this point very carefully. Everybody is satisfied in their particular rasa. Those who are in Madhurya Ras, they are satisfied in their rasa. Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj satisfied in Vatsal Ras. Sridama, Sudama satisfied in their Sakhya Ras. Chitrak, Patrak, all satisfied in Dasya Ras. Everybody is satisfied in their particular rasa. But objectively, when it is seen that okay, Madhurya Ras one can have the highest of experiences. Okay. So later in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu also it comes that there are 8 stages after Prema also. Okay. So like we have Sneha, Mana, Pranaya, Rag, Anurag. Okay. And then Mahabhav. Okay, like this, there are explanation of higher stages, and it will be told, okay, in the Sakhya Rasa 3 can be experienced, in Vatsalya Rasa 5 can be experienced out of these, and in Madhurya Rasa all 8 can be experienced of the higher stage till the Mahabhav. Like that explanation will come. Objectively, we can see that that's having higher degrees of enjoyment, but it is not to be understood materially as we may do in our material world. making a comparison. Oh, he got 80 marks, he got 85 marks, he is higher, or he got 100 marks, he is best. It should not be done in that way, because we may be coming from that, maybe is for me engineering background or medical background, somebody. So they may have a feeling that okay, yeah, this is highest and that will give most enjoyment. We should not understand it that way, because everybody is satisfied in their particular rasa. Okay. So Uddhava, when he is there in this uh, prayer, he is saying that he desires that aspect of it. What he desires actually is the intensity of the prema of Madhuri Ras. Okay. So, as I was saying, Rupa Goswami has written the big book Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He has not written the book Madhurya Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay. He has not explained only one rasa. He has explained the rasa which is there in all the five aspects. So we have to understand that it's not that everybody who comes across the example of gopis has to become a gopi. Otherwise, whole of the Vrindavan will be gopis only. But Krishna wants a variety of enjoyment, and devotees are having different capacity of enjoying in particular ways. And they are satisfied in their way of giving enjoyment. No problem. Okay. So that's why when he is saying that he desires that aspect, what he desires is intensity. That intensity is very high in the conjugal relationship to please Krishna. That intensity he desires while being situated in his own particular rasa. Okay. So we will see the explanation. Yeah. Yeah, please read.
The word iti indicates the reason why Kamarupa Bhakti is well known as prema. Uddhava, by expressing his desire in the following verse, makes that Kamarupa Bhakti famous as prema.
Yeah. So the purpose of quoting this thing was that Kamarupa is only externally, but actually it is prema. So yeah, please read the translation.
Among all persons on earth, these cowherd women alone have actually perfected their embodied lives, for they have achieved the perfection of unalloyed love. For Lord Govinda, their pure love is hankered after by those who fear material existence, by great sages, and by ourselves as well. For one who has tasted the narrations of the infinite Lord, what is the use of taking birth as a high class Brahmana or even as Lord Brahma himself?
So yeah, this is what he's saying, 10th canto, 47th chapter, 58th verse. Okay. Yeah, continue.
It should be understood that it should be understood that he actually did not desire the gopis particular type of prema, because such a desire would suggest that he is forcing conformity to the goal of kamarupa bhakti on the desires of liberation, bhava viyaha, the liberated munaya and the devotees vayam. Thus there would no existence of other sthai bhavas such as sakhya or dasya.
Yeah, so that's what he's saying. We should not understand it in that way, that he is suggesting conformity. Conformity means to have congruence or having same bhav as Madhurya. Otherwise, there would be no existence of other sthai bhav like Sakhya, Dasya, Vatsalya and all. They will all think that yes, yes, Madhurya is highest, let us all become for the Madhurya ras. It's not like that. Hmm. Yeah, continue.
Uddhava desired the intensity of their prema, but not their kamarupa bhava, which causes the intensity. Thus, when Uddhava says he desires their prema, he does not desire the kamarupa bhava.
Yeah, so Uddhava is not wanting a form of a gopi. He is desiring what? Intensity of their prema. Okay, like that. So very like gross example also we can see. There may be a person who may see a mother serving the child. Okay, how mother is sacrificing for the child, getting up in the night also sometimes when the child cries. Okay, and whatever difficulties may come during the service, she is ready to do. But if the person is asked, "Oh, you are appreciating so much, do you also want to become a mother?" So he will say, "No, no, I'm just appreciating so that I can get more intensity in what I am doing." Okay. He may be doing some service. Okay. He may be the father also, maybe. But if the father asks, "Do you want to become the mother? You are appreciating so much." No, no, I don't want to become the mother, but I am appreciating so that I can do my service better. I don't know. Miss, there can be many, many examples. Okay. Like there may be very famous person who may be very, successful in their respective fields like football or cricket or any other field. So one may derive some inspiration from that person. But if he asked, "Oh, you also want to become a cricketer?" He will say, no, I want to take my inspiration in my business. That how this person is fixed in his goal. I also want to become like him, but I want to do continue my business only. Getting the point. Similarly, here we can bring it to spiritual realm. Uddhava also is having a desire for the intensity. Oh, they are serving Krishna so nicely. They have Krishna Sokhya Artham Eva Keval Udyama. Every activity of theirs is only for Krishna Sukha. I also want to do it, but I want to do it in my own rasa. That is the point. Yeah. So now Prabhupada will comment on this. Yeah, please read.
The author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kaviraja Krishnadasa, has explained the distinction between lusty desire and the service attitude in this statement. Lusty desire refers to the desire to gratify one's personal senses, and transcendental desire refers to the desire of serving the senses of the Lord. In the material world, there is no such thing as a lover's wanting to please the senses of his beloved.
Yeah. So same thing. That is quoted by Chaitanya Charita in the Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishna Kaviraj Goswami. He is quoting here that apnere indriya priti vancha tar bali kam. So lusty desire that is called. Krishnere indriya priti vancha dhare prem naam. Yeah.
Actually, in material world, everyone wants mainly to gratify his own personal senses. The gopis, however, wanted nothing at all but to gratify the senses of the Lord, and there is no instance of this in the material world. Therefore, the gopis' ecstatic love for Krishna is sometimes described by scholars as being like the lusty desire of the material world, but actually, this should not be taken as a literal fact. In this, it is simply a way of trying to understand the transcendental situation.
Yeah.
Great devotees up to standard of Uddhava are very dear friend of the Lord, and they desire to follow in the footsteps of the gopis. So the gopis' love for Krishna is certainly not materialistic desire. Otherwise, how could Uddhava aspire to follow in their footsteps? Another instance is Lord Chaitanya himself. After accepting the sannyasa order of life, he was very strict about avoiding association with women. But still, he taught that there is no better method of worshipping Krishna than that conceived by gopis.
Yeah. So Gopi Bhartur Padkamalayo Dasadas Anudas. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught that one should not only become a servant of servant. No, no, no. One should become a very special servant. Which servant? Servant of whom? The servant of that Krishna who is Gopi Bhartu, who is the maintainer of the gopis. Okay, that Krishna, that is Vraj Krishna. One should try to become servant of that Krishna, like that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught. But point here, Srila Prabhupada is saying that great personality like Uddhava and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the greatest of the sannyasi Shiromani, who is most renounced, he has taught that one should meditate on the pastimes of the gopis with Krishna. That means it should be the purest of the activity, right? That's why he's trying to, he's recommending that. Okay. So, and as we have seen the other day, okay, that Srinath Chakravarti also says that the five things, the five aspects in the one of the theme is that the worship, method of worship which is ordained by the gopis, that one should do. Okay. So that we have discussed also earlier. Yeah, please read.
Thus, the gopis' method of worshipping the Lord as if impelled by lusty desire was praised very highly even by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This very fact means that although the attraction of gopis for Krishna appears to be lusty, it is not in the least bit material. Unless one is fully situated in the transcendental position, the relationship of the gopis with Krishna is very difficult to understand.
Yeah, so somebody may think that oh, Krishna played Ras Leela, he did, and he did so many activities with the gopis who are the wives of other people. So these are all material activities. Why they are thinking like that? Because it is very difficult to understand by materialistic personalities. There should be a faith in the spiritual aspect that when it grows, one can understand it is not the least bit material. Okay, as one is purified, he can understand it is not a bit of the material aspect is not there in that. Okay, although it seems to be material, and as we discussed yesterday, it may be looking like a Karela from outside, green color, same shape, same structure, but it's not going to taste bitter. It's not material. It is made up of sugar candy. Okay, that Krishna is tasting it and he knows it. We may be seeing the external and thinking like that. And that is true with all aspects of the relationship between the gopis and Krishna. Sometimes they may chastise Krishna, Mother Yashoda may chastise Krishna, and one may think that, oh, This is like a material relationship and doesn't look like any spiritual activity. No, but that gives the highest pleasure to Lord Shri Krishna. They know. Continue.
But because it appears to be just like ordinary dealing of young boys and girls, it is sometimes misinterpreted to be like the ordinary sex of this material world. Unfortunately, persons who cannot understand the transcendental nature of the loving affairs of the gopis and Krishna take it for granted that Krishna's loving affair with the gopis are mundane transactions, and therefore they sometimes indulge in painting licentious picture of some modernistic style.
Yeah, so materialistic people cannot understand. Yeah. Okay. Any questions on what we discussed till now? The topic was that this kind of love is present in the gopis and it is not material at all. Okay. Any questions on this? Yeah, Kishore Madhav.
So, just to have a slightest comparison, we can say that there is a very pure love between grown-up mother and with a grown-up child, maybe male child, correct? Now, it's very pure relationships, correct? Now, this is similarly something like that. Basically, it's a very pure relationship.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, similar example somewhere I read. Uh, where I don't remember, but yeah, like as you are giving example in the material world, the purest love which is there between mother and child. Yeah, that is in the material realm. But yeah, for us to understand, we can begin from there. Okay, but this is at a spiritual level. That is only thing. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so next topic is Kubja's attraction to Krishna is only Kama Praya. Okay. So even though she may be also seeming like, oh, she also has conjugal relationship, desire for that same kind of enjoyment. But it is not exactly as like the gopis. Why? Because it is not selfless. She has a desire for personal enjoyment embedded in desire to satisfy Krishna. Okay. Kama praya ratihi kintu kubjayam eva sammata. Yeah, somebody else can read. Yes, Mukund Patro, you want to read?
Yes, Guruji. But Kubja attractions to Krishna is only Kama Praya. But the wise agree that the attraction to Krishna seen in Kubja is essentially due to Kama only.
Yeah.
Bhakti Rasamrita. That Kubja had a prominence of Kama is evident in her not showing the action of the pure prema of the gopis. The pure prema is illustrated in the following verse.
Yeah, this shloka we have already seen. Okay, 10:31:19, where gopis are praying that your feet may be wounded. So let us place them gently on our breast, fearing that it will be hurt. Okay, this we have seen already. Yeah, continue.
She, on the other hand,
She means Kubja.
only
Yeah, continue.
exhibits only lusty actions. Now
So,
endowed with beauty,
hmm, continue.
character, and generosity, Trivaka, Triva, Trivakra began to feel lusty desires for Lord Keshava. Taking hold of the end of his upper cloth, she smiled. However, she is said to have rati to a small degree because the object of her attraction was Krishna.
Yeah, so her object of attraction was Krishna, not any other male. That is a plus point. But the minus point is that she has a desire to enjoy personally also. But externally, it may look like a activity similar to gopis, but it is not internally. Internally, gopis have no tinge of desire for personal enjoyment, but she has, Kubja has. Okay, yeah. So now we have completed this part of Kama Rupa Ragatmika Bhakti, which is seen in the gopis, which is externally in the form of conjugal activities, but internally only for the pleasure of Krishna. Krishna Sokhya Artham Eva Kevala Udyama. Okay, like that. Now the second aspect of that Ragatmika Bhakti is the Sambandha Rupa. The external manifestation is of a relationship. Okay, what kind of relationship it is? It is either parental or friendliness or servitude. But inside, what is there? Deep, spontaneous thirst for the Ishte. Ishte Swarasiki Paramavishtata for the Lord. Okay, Raga is there internally in the Atma. Okay, so what is the definition? We will see first of Sambandha Rupa Ragatmika Bhakti. Sambandha Rupa Govinde Pitrivyadi Abhimanita Atropalakshayan Lakshanataya Vrishnin Lakshanataya Vrishninam Vallavamataha Yada Yad Ishasya Jnana Sunyatvad Esham Rage Pradhanata. Yeah, Yamuna Vilas Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Guruji. Sambandha Rupa Ragatmika Bhakti is that bhakti inspired by great absorption arising from identifying oneself as the parent, friend, or servant of Govinda. This refers to the bhakti of the coward people, which is indicated by the word Sambandhat Vishnaya, quoted in verse 275 as an example of Sambandha. This is because these other relationships in Vraja also have a predominance of intense affection, raga, caused by a lack of awareness of Krishna as God.
Yeah. So there also is raga only. Okay. The intense affection, that is Ishte Swarasiki Paramavishtata only is there. Okay. But yeah. The form is what? Sambandha. Okay. The relationship, which is not specifically conjugal. Okay. So Sambandha Rupa Ragatmika Bhakti is that bhakti inspired by great absorption. There is also Paramavishtata. Great absorption is there, arising from identifying oneself as the parent, Vatsalya, friend, Sakhya, or servant, Dasya. This refers to the bhakti of the cowherd people in the Vrajvasis, which is indicated by the word Sambandhat Vrishnaya, which was quoted earlier. Okay, so one may think, oh, Vrishni means what? It's only the Vasudev. No, it is said that Vrishni dynasty is both Vasudev and Nanda Maharaj. So in the Vraja also who are there, they are also sometimes called as Vrishni. Okay, as an example of Sambandha. This is because these other relationships in Vraja also have a predominance of intense rag caused by lack of awareness of Krishna. So there is also sweetness in what? Parent, friend, and servant. What kind of sweetness? The sweetness is caused by the lack of the godliness. Okay. So as we discussed in Vaikuntha and in Dwarka, there is Aishwarya Bhav to consider Krishna as God. Give some awe and reverence. But here friends will say, oh, tumi kon bada lok, ami tumi sama. Okay, you are not something bigger. I am and you are both equal. Carry me on your shoulder. Like that, as we saw from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay. Yeah, please read.
In the
Srila
attitude
Prabhupada.
of the denizens, Srila Prabhupada on this verse, in the attitude of the denizens of Vrindavan, such as Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, is to be found the ideal transcendental concept of being the father and the mother of Krishna, the original personality of Godhead. Factually, no one can become the father or mother of Krishna, but a devotee's possession of such transcendental feelings is called love of Krishna in a parental relationship. The Vrishnis, Krishna's relatives at Dwarka, also felt like that. So, spontaneous love of Krishna in the parental relationship is found both among those denizens of Dwarka who belong to the dynasty of Vrishni and among the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Spontaneous love of Krishna, as exhibited by the Vrishnis and the denizens of Vrindavan, is eternally existing in them. In the stage of devotional service where regulative principles are followed, there is no necessity of discussing this love, for it must develop of itself at a more advanced stage.
Yeah, so Prabhupada has told one thing that the spontaneous love of Krishna in the parental relationship is found both among the denizens of Dwarka. In Dwarka also there are parents of Krishna as well as in Vrindavan. So, but as we explained, Dwarka there is a tinge of awe and reverence, but in Vrindavan there is only sweet relationship. That is the difference. And then he's saying spontaneous love of Krishna as exhibited by the Vrishnis and denizens of Vrindavan is eternally existing in them. Okay, that is Nitya Siddha. And in the stage of devotional service, that means what? With where regulative principles are followed, that means Prabhupada is saying about Vaidhi. sadhana bhakti, in that stage, there is no necessity of discussing this love, for it must develop of itself at a more advanced stage. So, as yesterday we were discussing, after one practices Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, then one may feel inspired to follow after a particular Vrajavasi. Okay, and it cannot be developed artificially, it should come on its own. Okay, by the mercy of Krishna or the devotees of Krishna. Krishna tad bhakta karunya matra labhaika hetuka. So that's what Prabhupada is explaining here. Okay, any questions till now what we discussed?
Prabhuji, just
Yeah.
thing. Coming back to that example of cricket, A and
Mm,
B, two people
mm,
taught by the same teacher, both are subjected for 1 year of continuous book shastric knowledge or scriptural knowledge, and after that, videos has been presented to them, and they have a choice that okay we want. But now, if we see nowadays, it's highly difficult that to go for any of this kind of bhakti. Only that's where Prabhupada has focused, and even initial chapters Prabhupada has mainly insisted for Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti instead of this Raga Anu thing. And it's even practically also, I feel this is, and correct me here, and even practically also, if somebody tries to get get try to search somebody who can have this kind of Raga Anuga, he may try to imitate, but he will fall down. So Pater Prabhupada has stated that by following seriously our Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, eventually Lord will awaken that not dormant or dormant love we can say, but that particular our desire to have any devotee who has this Raganuga Bhakti to follow his footsteps maturely, or we can say more properly. So instead of going for this way, I mean to search some devotee who have love aparadhara or something, devotees are going and they are trying, but it seems that it will be surely that we may commit we may face some sort of accident, and we may have to again come back to start from everything from scratch. So
mm.
that's where I feel that Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, that's where Prabhupada has insisted a lot, and I think that is what the more appropriately even getting practice in ISKCON. However, existence of Raganuga Bhakti is also there, but that will be visible after our that level, that sort of level we need to get, and then we can see that that kind of devotees, as well as we can we feel or we get inspiration to desire them, and Lord will arrange all those things in our life.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So this same thing we have been discussing till now, correct? You told whatever we discussed only, Prabhuji. Like, yeah. What is the question? I did not understand.
No, I thought that whatever I understand it is correct, or it's like something else only I'm
No, no,
assuming as of.
same thing we have been discussing till now. Whatever you told, same thing we have been discussing, that Prabhupada has recommended this, and few things you told different, that is there, that one may fall down, that I have not heard Prabhupada has told. But as such, whatever you told is correct only, that one will himself feel the attraction and it's nothing artificial, and same thing we have discussed. So nothing I found different in your question. Miss, what is exactly the question? I did not get.
No, question is nothing, Brigitte. Just I thought that there are devotees I have seen who have left the
Mm,
gone, and they thought that we are practicing and something higher is so available in the outside, and why would to this and later into that,
mm,
and they came
mm,
back again. But there is significant difference. We have noticed what it was there in the past, and now what exactly it is there after coming that particular people. So I feel that that is what I understand that we should not try to go out and try to do something which is beyond something which is attractive to us, and we are trying to follow that,
yeah, yeah, correct.
and we not.
Yeah, this point, what you're saying is correct. Like, there have been some immature examples also, like who have gone outside ISKCON thinking that it's not there in ISKCON. If you remember, yesterday we discussed this point, that generally in ISKCON, the understanding, which, like you are also saying, may not be correct, that they feel either Prabhupada has given only Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti and it is not there in ISKCON, that's why we should go outside. Or the second understanding is this is Sahajiyaism, which we will fall down. These are the two incorrect understanding which we have in ISKCON majorly, and our acharyas have not told this. This is coming from outside only, and that's why people are going outside, because thinking that it's not there in ISKCON. And as you rightly said, when they go outside, because they did not study the books properly, which is given by our Acharyas and Prabhupada, so they thought it is not in ISKCON and they went outside with that. They did not get it outside also because they never understood how to identify it. Okay, so they cannot identify in ISKCON, neither they will be able to identify outside, because what they thought it is, that was not actually it was. Externally, they thought something that it is what I am thinking Raganuga. They went to Radhakund somewhere. They did not get it because it is there in ISKCON, it is there outside. These people will not be able to find because they are not studying the books. They are not following the proper path given by Prabhupada, and not even when they go outside, there is also proper path outside also. But they will not be able to identify because they are not genuine people. They are not serious people. What we are talking about is serious people. They are there in ISKCON, they are there outside also, just like good people are there in India and good people are there in Pakistan also. There are immature people in India, there are immature people in Pakistan also. There are immature people following Vaidhi sadhana. There are immature people who want to follow Raganuga sadhana. There are genuine people who want to follow Vaidhi sadhana. There are genuine people who want to follow Raganuga sadhana. Okay, there is not one group we can say is completely going to be immature. Okay, that is there everywhere. So as you gave rightly the example that people have gone outside and thought like that it's not there in ISKCON. Yeah, that has happened unfortunately because they did not genuinely want it. So cheater and the cheated, like Prabhupada has told. So they might have gone to some people whom they thought that it is, but they could not get, because if somebody is genuinely wanting, it is there in ISKCON, as many things Prabhupada will also speak in this NOD also. Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani Shivram Swami Maharaj has spoken. Why he has written the whole book is for this purpose, that devotees should be becoming a genuine practitioner of whichever sadhana they may want to do, whatever inclination they have in their heart. Nobody is going to legislate that you should do this or that because it is a personal choice, as we discussed yesterday also, as Prasanna Gopal Prabhu asked. It's a personal choice. But if somebody is genuine, Dadami Buddhi Yogamtam, Krishna has said, I will direct them. Okay. So one has to be just be genuine. Okay. And yeah, as you said, yeah, unfortunately, there are examples where people did like that. So we should not be overly discouraged by that, but at the same time, be cautious with doing this. And we should not try to do artificially because there is a qualification needed for this kind of sadhana, which will be given by Guru, and it has to be done under Guru only. Okay, under the permission of Guru and by the guidance of Guru only. Okay, so later when the section will come qualification for this, we will elaborate there. But in short, that is my answer to your question. So your concern is very correct, and as Prabhupada has also focused majorly on that, we should also do that. And as he has told here also, for it will develop on its own. Very correct. Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written one Vaishnava song. He says, Vaidi Bhakti Rata Jane Swadhinata Ratnadane Ragamarga Karaya Pravesh. He says that Vaidi Bhakti Rata Jane, those who are Rata or engaged in Vaidi Bhakti, Swadhinata Ratna Dane, they will be given one Ratna. What is the Ratna? Swadhinata, free will, or making a choice. What choice they can make? Ragamarga Karaya Pravesh. Whether to enter Ragamarg or continue in Vaidi Bhakti. So our part is to just continue the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Whenever Krishna or his devotees, if they want, they will give their mercy. And if we feel attracted toward a particular Vrajavasi, then ourselves we will be not able to stop that attraction. And then we can express to our gurus and then take their permission and guidance to follow it. Okay, as of now, we don't have any choice. We have to just follow Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. As Prabhupada is telling here, there is no necessity of discussing this love. But at the same time, as Chaitan Mahaprabhu we discussed, he came for spreading this Ragamarga Bhakti Karite Pracharan. So if we know what he came to give, at least, if we get the mercy of Krishna and sadhus, then we will know, okay, what we have got mercy is this, and I should go ahead in this path. At least it is our responsibility because it is there in the books to know it. And it is there in the first 19 chapters itself of NOD. We are not discussing outside. So I hope that answers question.
Yes,
Little
yes,
long it
Prabhuji.
was.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So whatever you spoke was almost same thing, except one part which I clarified. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yamuna Vilas bro, you have any question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
So I want to understand, like in Sambandha Rupa Bhakti, Ragatmika Bhakti. So we have not mentioned. I mean, it's not mentioned about anything about Shantaras,
Mm-hmm.
passive. So is there no
Yeah, yeah,
like?
yeah.
What's the reason behind it, Prabhuji? Because is there no rag in that relationship? And as you said earlier, that everyone is satisfied. Like
Mm-hmm.
Uddhava is also satisfied. He is not desiring for this prema bhav.
Yeah.
So
Prem Bhavani, I mean, Gopis Bhav.
yeah, Gopis bhav. Yeah.
Mm.
So I just want to understand, Prabhuji, why this Shantaras is not mentioned in Sambandha Rupa.
Yeah, yeah. So there in the future sections of Bhakti Sindhu, when Shantaras is discussed, there Rupa Goswami says that it is also a rasa, but it does not give as much pleasure as others like Madhurya, Vatsalya, Sakhya, or Dasya. Some devotees don't count it as rasa itself. And Chaitanya Charitamrita itself, there is a shloka which says that when it comes to rasa, there are only four. Shanta may not be counted also, and it's excluded from Gaudiya Sampradaya as a rasa. Okay, I will try to find that shloka. It's there in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila. Okay, I will find it and put it in the WhatsApp group. Okay, but it is there that in our Gaudiya Sampradaya, the Shantrasa is not cultivated. Mainly, we cultivate four rasas. Okay, Shantrasa is excluded. Okay, so that was your question.
Yes, Prajit, because yeah, because that intense absorption, like Param Vishtata, Avishtata, and
Hmm.
what we discussed, Varishki, that will be also
Swarasiki.
there. Yeah, that will be also there in that Shanta relationship, right?
No, no,
That's
no.
what I was
That
thinking.
that
No?
will not be there so much intense because Shanta relationship is generally cultivated by impersonalists, those who became devotee later. Okay, that is explained in Bhaktivedanta Sindhu. So they have so much of background of being impersonal that they are not able to have that intensity. Okay, just like the example is given of ink bottle. So when you wash out the ink bottle first time, it's blue. Second time you wash it out, it is still having some blueness. So the impersonalism is gone so much inside that they are not able to have that kind of relationship with Krishna, free flow relationship. Okay, so that's why it doesn't give that complete absorption. And they generally, Santarasha, they become trees or serve as some non-human entities in Vraja. Or inhuman entities, example is given of small child who cannot speak, like 1 or 2 years child, like that they take up forms in Vraja, and they may do some activities there to please Krishna or serve Krishna. These are the examples given. Okay, so that's why four only are there counted in Gaudiya, our sampradaya. Okay, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Because why I was thinking, Prajit, because
Hmm.
in like Damodar Ashtakam prayers, we see that the flowers are also having some feelings. They are also so.
Damodar
I mean,
Ashtakam
although
flowers.
like they want to they jumped. I may
Ah,
not be mentioning it
yeah, yeah,
correctly,
yeah,
but
yeah. They want to jump
so
off Krishna's hair. Sorry, Yashoda Mata's hair. Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
trees are
So,
bending. Trees are
mm,
bending to give the
mm,
fruits to Krishna, and so
yeah.
in that way, like
Mm.
although they're also having some feelings
They
and
have sentiment.
relationship.
Technically, it is not called rasa. Rupa Goswami gives a name to it. In the very last chapter of Bhakti Sindhu, he gives the name Uparasa. Okay, means Upa, like we have Indra, younger brother is called Upendra. That is Vamanadev. Similarly, we have Rasa, and younger brother of that is called Uparasa. So it doesn't have all characteristics of Rasa, but there is an attitude to please. But because
Mm.
they don't have forms of human beings, or they may be in the forms of cows or trees, so they cannot reciprocate exactly as to have a human being has. So they are called Uparasa. Okay, that's explained in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. That's how it is.
Thank you, Prit.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Kishore Madhaprabhu.
So I just want to know, कि, you mentioned two types, one Kamarupa and Sambandha Rupa. In Kamarupa, the example given was gopis.
Hmm.
Just to know whether gopas also can be as an example of Kamarupa.
No, no, no.
No,
Only
no,
gopis.
only gopis. Yeah.
That example was given only. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. I got
Yeah.
it.
Kamrupa means conjugal
Yes.
actions. Yeah. That is
Okay.
only with gopis.
Yes.
Okay. So then we will continue. Okay, the next part. Mhm. So understanding Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti based on Ragatmika Bhakti. Okay. So why we have to do that? Because the name itself is Raga Anuga. That is follower of what? Follower of Ragatmika Bhakti. So whatever the activities were done by the Ragatmika devotees, that is followed after. Okay. Not imitated. Okay. One is trying to follow after. Okay. When does he do that? When he has a genuine taste for certain personalities in Vraja. Okay, that is called lobha. When that has awakened, then they try to emulate their activities. Okay, so now let's see the details of whatever is going to come. Kama sambandha रूपे ते प्रेम मात्रा स्वरूप के नित्य सिद्धस्य नित्य सिद्ध आश्रतया नात्र सम्यक विचारिते. Yes, Yamuna Vilasru, you want to read?
Yes, please. Since Kamarupa and Sadhana Rupa Bhakti, which are
Sambandha,
caused by
sambandha.
sorry,
Hmm.
since Kamarupa and Sambandha Rupa Bhakti, which are caused by prema alone, take shelter of the Nitya Siddhas, they have not been discussed in this section thoroughly.
Yeah. So these are all prema bhakti concepts. Okay. So they should be dealt where not in sadhana bhakti, in siddha bhakti. That will be the chapters 19 of NOD, and after that it will be discussed in that. It is not the topic of sadhana bhakti. Okay. So they are perfected forms of bhakti which are caused by prema alone. Take shelter of nitya siddhas, and they are present in what? Vrajvasis. Okay, in the Nitya Siddhas, they have not been discussed in this section thoroughly. So whatever has been given, we discussed. Okay, Ragatmikaya dvai vidya dvidha raganuga chasa kamanuga cha sambandha nuga cheti nigadyate. Please read.
From these two types of Ragatmika Bhakti, Siddha Bhakti, two types of Raganuga Bhakti, Sadhana Bhakti, called Kamanuga and Sambandhanuga Bhakti are derived.
Yeah, so as we discussed, so Ragatmika Bhakti is discussed here to whatever extent was possible. And how we should understand about Raganuga Bhakti is that it follows after this Ragatmika Bhakti. Okay, it follows after this. Who can follow? Qualifications will come later. How to follow will also be told later. Okay, but as of now, we understand that this Bhakti follows after Ragatmika Bhakti. Okay, which is a form of sadhana bhakti. It is not that they have attained raga. Do Raganuga Bhakta have raga? No, they don't have. Who has? These people have raga. So are these practitioners? No, they are not practitioners. They are perfected beings. What about them? They are practicing. What they are practicing? They are practicing to follow. Follow whom? Follow these perfected entities. So this is what the definition of Raganuga is. Okay, they are doing a practice. They are doing a sadhana. What sadhana is? What is their sadhana? Their sadhana is to just follow, emulate. Okay, emulate these perfected beings. Why do they want to emulate? Because they felt certain taste for certain personalities or certain rasa. Do they have the rasa? No, they don't have. They felt some attraction, just like we may come across, we may have our favorite food, rasmalai or samosa or kachori. Prabhupada like kachori. Okay, so we may come across some certain food which we have enjoyed for many, many lifetimes. Okay, in many, many universes we have enjoyed it. And this lifetime, when we come across that entity, we naturally have a taste to enjoy it. Okay, so similarly, when we hear about the Brajavasis, one day will come when we will have that kind of spontaneous attraction to taste what they are having. Okay, not that we are having now, but a day will come when by hearing that we will get a taste to taste what they are already having. Okay, so that will be called as Raganuga. Yeah, please read.
Having described the qualities of Ragatmika Bhakti as a secondary topic, the qualities of Raganuga Sadhana, the topic of this section, are now described.
Yeah. So this section, what is section here? Is only Raganuga Sadhana, Sadhana Bhakti. Yeah. So what is the qualification now? So this is a very important topic because this can be a topic where we can understand that one is qualified or not. And second thing is it can also be uh, giving us understanding that whether others are qualified or not, not to judge them, but if we see something, we can try to understand. Okay. So before we go to this section, okay, there is a summary given for this as we discussed yesterday in two books actually, Bhakti Sandarbha and Raghavarth Chandraika. So we will just take one of them, that is Bhakti Sandarbha. Okay, it is explained by Srila Jeev Goswami, that in summary whatever we have discussed till now. Okay. Yes, Yamuna Vilasru, can you read the highlighted part? Okay.
Yes, Raja. Now, Raganuga Bhakti will be discussed. Affection which the experiencer has due to a natural, intense desire to associate with an object is called raga. Just as the eye may have a strong attraction for a beautiful object, such natural affection of the devotee for the Lord is called raga.
Yeah. So Srila Jeev Goswami is giving a definition here. What is raga? So he starts defining something which is in the material world, which we have generally. What is the example he has given? The eye have a strong attraction for a beautiful object. So a good teacher is one who teaches something unknown from known. He takes us from the known to unknown. So Shila Jeev Goswami is a very good teacher. He is teaching us that already know this example. What is the example we know? That our eyes have a strong attraction for a beautiful object, right? So he has told what? The experiencer has a natural intense desire to associate with an object is called raga. Okay, in material world. It's always there with everybody. They have some experience with some object of the material world. Okay, that is called raga in the material concepts. When a devotee has that similar thing for the Lord, okay, what is that? Natural intense desire to associate with. When this is there in some person which who is a devotee and it is there towards the object, who is the object? Lord, then it is called raga. Okay, so this is very very important to go ahead. Okay, if you understand this example as well as this definition, it will be very helpful so that basic concepts will be clear. Okay, what is raga defined here? As the natural intense desire to associate with the object. Which is the object for a devotee? Krishna, Vraj Krishna. When that is there, that is called raga. What is the example? For us to understand, strong attraction for a beautiful object is there in the eyes, like that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, please read.
When there is an excellence of natural rag with qualification of bhavas with identity as lover, friend, parent, etc., the bhakti of such devotees, consisting of hearing, chanting, remembering, serving the lotus feet, vandanam, and atmanivedanam, endowed with with that rag is called ragatmika bhakti. Such bhakti is manifested as sadhya, the perfection, since it's a wave in the Ganga river of bhakti in its perfected state, which is characterized by raga. It is not classed as a part of sadhana.
Yeah. So now this
Now,
paragraph he has explained the Ragatmika aspect, which is what sadhya means perfected, which is the goal of sadhana. Okay. Example is given what again? A known example to us. What is the known example? The Ganga river we have seen, or any river we must have seen. Correct. So it is a wave in the Ganga river of Bhakti in its perfected state, just like there is nothing which stops Ganga to reach the ocean. Similarly, this type of devotee, nothing can stop him to reach the Lord Krishna. Okay, that is there in which person? It's not in the sadhaka. It's not a sadhana. It's not in raganuga sadhana. It is there for ragatmika person in the perfected being. Okay, yeah, continue.
Now, Raganuga Bhakti will be discussed. When a person develops a taste for a particular type of rag mentioned above, but has not actually developed such rag, and the heart, like a crystal, glows with the rays of the moon of that rag, he develops a taste for the mode of Ragatmika Bhakti, which is described in scriptures. That person performs Raganuga Bhakti, which follows the taste for that particular rag. Some call this bhakti avihita or not prescribed, since it does not arise through the application of rules but by taste alone.
Yeah, so now this paragraph is saying about sadhana, the raganuga bhakti, which is sadhana. This will be discussed. What this is very very important because this is a Rupa Goswami's explanation, which Jiva Goswami has told here, which is what we are going to see in the slides of Rupa Goswami Bhakti Rasam Sindhu. This same part. So please see this carefully. When a person develops a taste for a particular type of raga mentioned above, what was mentioned above? So here, lover, friend, parent, etc. were mentioned. So he develops what? A taste. Taste means some liking, slight liking also. What is the example I gave? Example is like somebody may see a very very favorite food object. Nobody has to tell him, you see, this is rasgulla, this is so much tasty. No, he has got the impressions in many lifetimes. He knows that it is very tasty and he will automatically get attracted. Like that kind of taste. Automatically he will feel attraction towards the Vrajvasi. Did he develop raga? No. He has not developed that raga. But he has developed a slight taste. See the difference of words. Okay. He has not developed a complete taste, but a slight taste is there. Okay, but he has not developed the raga, which is intense, deep thirst. He has not developed, but his heart is like a crystal, which glows with the moon of that raga. He develops a taste for the mode of ragatmika bhakti, which is described in scriptures. He has a slight taste for that. That person who has this performs raganuga bhakti. This is the qualification which was told here. This taste, what is the technical term of this taste? Is lobha or greed. Okay. That person should perform Raganuga Bhakti, which follows the taste for that particular rag. Some call this as avihita, not prescribed. Not in the sense that nobody should do it. It is in the sense that it does not arise through application of rules. So, as I told, it's not that somebody can attain it. It has to be given by invite, like that, or it is nothing to be doing with the scriptural rules and regulations. That is not the impetus here. The impetus is the taste for certain type of service in the loving mood or in the parental mood or friendly mood. Okay. Yeah, read this.
Because Vaidhi Bhakti is dependent on rules, it is weak. Raganuga Bhakti, however, is performed independent of rules. It is thus strong.
Yeah, this we have discussed yesterday. Okay. Now we'll go back to the slides and see properly what is the definition given by Rupa Goswami. रागात्मिका निष्ठा ये व्रजवासी जनादयः तेषां भावापत्ये लुब्धो भवेद अत्र अधिकारवान. Okay, Nagnajiti Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. That person who is greedy for attaining a bhava, similar to that of the inhabitants of Raja, who are fixed solely in Ragatmika Bhakti, is qualified for Raganuga Bhakti.
Yeah, so the very same thing Jiva Goswami has explained from this shloka actually. That what is the qualification? The person who is having the greed. Okay, this is not material greed for some kind of money or some material object, but it is spiritual greed. What kind of greed it is? For attaining a bhav similar to that of inhabitants of Vrajvasi Janadayah. Who are the Vrajvasis? The Vrajvasis example will be given in the commentary like Nand Maharaj, Mother Yashoda, Radha Rani, Lalita, Vishakha, all this. Who are fixed solely in Ragatmika Bhakti. The inhabitants of Raja are fixed in Ragatmika Bhakti. What this person has got? He has got a taste or a greed for attaining a bhava. Okay, he is not got the rag. He has not got the intense thirst, but he has got some greed, some taste for what? For attaining a bhava similar to that inhabitant of Raja. Okay, he is qualified for Raganuga Bhakti. Yeah, please read.
The qualification to perform Vaidhi Bhakti is faith in scripture, and the qualification to perform Raganuga Bhakti is greed to attain spontaneous devotion. Unlike faith, which is based on logic and reasoning, greed is based on the heart's natural inclination.
Yeah, so very nicely, Ji Goswami has given the classification here. What is the classification? The qualification to perform Vaidhi Bhakti is faith in scripture. Okay, faith in the scripture is the qualification, as we have discussed earlier, you remember. Okay, that the Shraddha is the qualification for Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. In what? Shastra. Shastrartha Shraddha. And the qualification for performing Raghunaga Bhakti is what? Greed. That taste to attain spontaneous devotion like a particular Vrajvasi. Okay, and then he says, unlike faith, which is based on logic and reasoning, greed is based on heart's natural inclination. Okay, how did that natural inclination come? By the mercy of Krishna and the devotees. Okay, by the mercy of Krishna or his devotees. Yeah, read.
Greed is the intense, natural desire of devotees for the service mood of the Vrajvasis. Although greed may have varying degrees of intensity, broadly speaking, it is of two types.
Yeah, so greed is of two types. Yeah.
One is the very intense eagerness possessed by devotees at the stage of ecstatic devotion, devotees whose love has already awakened. The other type is the less intense greed possessed by devotees at the stage of practice, in which love has not yet awakened.
Yeah, so first type is that which is there in the perfected devotees. Okay, that is rag, complete absorption they have. And second is there with those who are having just a small taste. Okay, that is there for sadhaka, for attaining that kind of service. Yeah, please read Prabhupada's comment
Person,
on this.
Srila Prabhupada on this verse, persons desiring to follow in the footsteps of such eternal devotees of the Lord as the Vrishnis and Vrindavan denizens are called Raganuga devotees, which means that they are trying to attain to the perfection of those devotees. These Raganuga devotees do not follow the regulative principles of devotional service very strictly, but by spontaneous nature they become attracted to some of the eternal devotees such as Nanda or Yashoda, and they try to follow in their footsteps spontaneously. There is a gradual development of the ambition to become like a particular devotee, and this activity is called Raganuga.
Yeah, so if you remember in the beginning chapters, Srila Prabhupada gave a definition which we had seen, that a devotee who automatically wakes up for Mangalarti or performs Arti for the Lord, he spontaneously does this is Raganuga. Okay, like that kind of thing was given. That was just a preliminary understanding, maybe, which was not very technically Prabhupada gave. Here in this chapter, which is chapter 16, Prabhupada is very specifically telling what is Raganuga sadhana. Okay, here when it comes to the topic, he explains it very, very particularly. So what he is saying, so please read this carefully. He says that persons desiring to follow in the footsteps of such eternal associates of the Lord as Vrishnis and the Vrindavan denizens are called Raganuga devotees, which means that they are trying to attain. Why they are trying? Because they have developed that greed, that liking. Okay, these Raganav devotees do not follow the regulative principles of devotional service. So this is one topic which is not understood by devotees properly, and they think that these devotees actually don't follow the four regulative principles. No, what Prabhupada is saying here is they don't follow Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti in the sense that their impetus is not scriptures. And these devotees have thought that Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti means you can do any activity, even break the regulative principles. That people have thought it to be like that, which is not the understanding Prabhupada is giving. Because everywhere Prabhupada used these words, regulative principles, in these two chapters, it means only Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti because it is having the impetus of the regulated way of devotional service based on scriptures. Okay. Whereas these devotees, Raganuga Sadhana sadhakas, they also follow the regulative principles, but the impetus is not scriptures. That's why Prabhupada is using these words. Okay, so please don't misunderstand this. Okay, so they also follow the regulative principles. They also get up for Mangalarti. They also do the same 16 rounds. They also do everything same angas of bhakti. But the impetus is not because the scriptures are saying we should do, but the impetus is that they have developed a slight taste for particular Rajvasi. Okay, that is the meaning of this statement. So, but by spontaneous nature, what is the meaning of the spontaneous nature? Have they become fully spontaneous? No. Their spontaneous is in the tendency that they have got a taste to follow certain Vrajvasi. They have not become a spontaneous like a Vrajvasi. So please understand the difference between the word spontaneous used here by Prabhupada than used for the Ragatmika devotee spontaneity. That is full-fledged spontaneity. But for these people, they have spontaneous nature because they have spontaneous nature to follow this person who is having full spontaneity. He is a follower of the Vrajavasi who are fully spontaneous. So that's why the word used is spontaneous here. Okay, so these two things should be understood properly. So spontaneous nature, that's what Prabhupada is saying. They become attracted to some of the eternal devotees. They have not become eternal devotees. Okay, yeah. So there is a gradual development. Prabhupada is also saying one should not think that today I was doing Vaidhi and tomorrow Raganuga. Yes, I understood now. After hearing this topic, I understood that, yeah, I have attraction. It's not like that. It is very gradual development over many, many years. Okay, later we will see how Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and many acharyas like Prabhupada also, they have very clearly told it is not before Nishtha. Till the time all the anarthas in the heart is destroyed, one cannot have this kind of greed. Okay, it is very, very impossible. Okay, almost impossible. There may be exceptions, and many times we are not the exceptions. We, as we may think that yes, I am the exception. No, may not be. Has to be confirmed with Guru. Okay, okay, exceptions. Gurus will decide. Okay, we don't have to see that. Yes, I am the exception. So Prabhupada very clearly told gradual development it will happen, and only after Nishtha. Till the time anarthas are there in the heart, it may not be. Okay. Yeah, so we will pause here, okay, because this topic is going to continue and we'll continue in the next time, next Saturday. Okay, if there is any question, we can take, otherwise we'll stop.
Prabhuji, one question.
Yes, Mati.
On the last slide which you had,
Okay,
the second point,
yeah, yes, Mati.
the Raganuga devotees do not follow the regulative principles or Vaidhi Bhakti. So, could this be taken as an example? The Brahman Patnis and the Brahmanas were the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhaktis, whereas the Brahman Patnis, having heard from Narad Muni, had actually developed spontaneous love. So they were following the regulative principles, but they were also Raganuga Bhaktas.
Yeah, the Brahman Patni example is given by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu itself. Okay, and I will show that. Okay, it is here. Hmm. Yeah. So it is there in the second section, southern section, where he describes about the ashraya. Yeah, correct. Yeah, sadhana siddha, kripa siddha, and nitya siddha. Yeah, so there he explains. I will show that. Yeah, for that time, yeah, I can answer the husbands, as you told. They did not have faith, actually, proper faith in Krishna itself. So they may not be called as devotees. Okay. because they did not have proper faith in the Lord, which should be there. Mm. Whereas these devotees who are Brahman Patnis, they had heard the pastimes of Krishna from the fruit seller or some people who used to sell something from the Vraja. These people used to come and they used to sell. So they had some attraction for Krishna by hearing that. Okay, and they approached also Krishna, but because of being an elderly age, Krishna could not accept in conjugal relationship, although that was their desire. Okay, that is explained. So, should they be accepted as Raganuga? Sorry, in the what was the question, Mataji? You said exactly.
Uh, I was looking if Brahmanas fall into the Vaidhi Bhakti, Sadhana Bhaktas, whereas their wives were having spontaneous love for Krishna, so they fill into the second category of Raganugas.
No, Brahmanas surely they
But
were
they were
not
not
having
having faith, so they
proper
cannot be
faith.
even Vaidhi.
Yeah, correct. Not even proper Vedi. But whereas Vaidi, I don't know, they were doing the yajnas, but whether they had actual understanding of the Supreme Lord, I don't know. Okay, but Brahman Patni surely, as I told, that they had certain attraction for Krishna, which it is called as Raganuga or not, I have to see. Okay, that I don't remember now. I can see and tell. Yeah. Okay. Any other thing? Anybody has? Okay, then we will stop here. Okay, and we'll continue in the next week. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai, Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu ki jai. Hare Krishna.